My name is Johnny Lee Johnson. Welcome to ReinCast. This podcast brought to you by Johnny Lee Johnson. Johnny, 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 Johnny. Music by Cloud Kicker. May contain offensive stuff. Johnny. Google image search it.
Is it recording? Okay.
Hello.
All right, so we're gonna begin.
All right.
Let's do this.
Okay. Nervous?
So I can do a little intro. I'm gonna shoot a big Hulk bow at you.
Please don't do that. All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Comfy Cast, the ReinCast. We're all on my basement couch, and we're all very comfy. So
And,
my
well,
oh,
and
go ahead.
You can go.
My name is Yanni, and my username on stuff is I am Reindeer.
My name is Danilo Zubariev, and my Steam name is Danilo Zed or Peter O'Hanrahan, and I am also everywhere else on the internet. Just Google me.
If you can't find Dan, just message any one of us, and we'll find him for you.
We'll find him. We know
Hey,
where he is.
You guys, you can find me.
I know you want to find him.
Yeah.
You guys
I already
all wanna
found
find
him.
me. Just look for me.
So we've got two other people with us.
My name is Mark.
He's a newbie.
I'm new to this ReinCast, but I'm a long time. I've been on this coach for a while.
He's a big fan.
Very nice.
A long-time
you can
Reindeer.
find me on Steam if you want. Facebook, Mark Snidel. Steam, my name is Obs. You can also I'm on LinkedIn. You know, if you wanna.
Link him in.
If you want to link him into things, whatever you want.
If you want to work for him.
And lastly, we have with us.
I am Nick, and you can Steam me at Thunderbear or Sadcom, and I go by Thunderbear on just about anything and everything.
All right, so now that we know all our guests, Mark and I have been friends since pretty much second grade. So we've we've known each other for a long time.
We've seen a lot of shit by now. I think.
These guys know each other way more than I or Nick know anyone
Anybody
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
I met Nick in
if I
what,
still
grade
kept
9
in
or
touch
something?
with people from my old school,
Yeah.
maybe I would.
Yeah, Nick doesn't know anybody. He's
But
moved
now,
like a shitload.
Like
a ton.
the deepest connection I have is like grade 8 now.
Makes an outsider.
That's
pretty much, yeah, everyone.
unfortunate.
So
I'm
me,
a grifter.
so yeah, like I've known Mark for so long that Alex, my little brother, used to have birthday parties when he was a baby, and my mom would invite people to the parties, like like just all our family friends and stuff, and I would not want to be bored, so I would invite Marky to the parties. Oh yeah, I call him Marky also. It's not a pet name. He just introduced himself to me as Marky.
Yes.
So-
I would
This
come
is
over
what
and
we
we
all
would play
call him.
like PlayStation in the basement. All the kids running around.
Yeah, all like
I
the
actually
kids. Yeah,
never even thought about the fact that we call you Marky even though your name is not Marky.
yeah.
Well, it's like a
Okay,
nickname.
all
It's
right.
like, you
Yeah,
guys call me Nick,
it's-
even though my name's Nicholas.
Wouldn't
I
you
was called Marky
prefer-
as a kid.
Wouldn't you prefer a shortening like Mar?
Marky rolls off the tongue
Mar.
better
You just
than
call me
Mark, I
M if you
find.
want.
Can I call you Ma?
Mr.
Hey guys,
Mr.
call
let's
me
do some
Mama.
M for Marky.
Let's
Mama
do some
Marky.
M, yeah.
So yeah,
Everybody, let's do
so
M.
so Mama Marky,
Let's do Marky.
used to come over and used to play PlayStation and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and so he's pretty much been a part of my family since I was a little boy.
Mama M.
Mama M, and he used to grab me in his arms.
I was only this big. You can't see, but I made a really
We should
small,
do the video cast.
size.
But yes, he did a very small gesture. It was like about a centimeter.
It was like the
between
size of a
like
really
a couple
small.
centimeters maybe.
his
really small
index and
thing.
his thumb.
So basically he's a special guest, and I love him. He's been my buddy
He
for a
shouldn't
long
be
time.
special. He should be in most of the things, but he's not going to be because he lives far away.
I live in a magical land called Montreal.
M.
M from M.
I
He does
to
M in
keep
Montreal
it
all the
M.
time.
So Dan, you had some stories for us.
Oh, do you guys want to hear these stories? Okay, I'm going to quickly say a couple stories, both kind of similar. One's far shorter than the other. These are hilarious. Okay, in the last 3 days, I was approached by completely random people in public twice. Okay, first one, I was at Lincoln Fields, which is a bus place in where we live.
That's a bus station, like a bus stop.
Yeah. And I was about to go meet up with my mom who was picking me up, and then some guy who kind of looks like a girl, he came up to me and he's just like, hey, and just mumbled a bunch of stuff I completely couldn't understand, like incoherent babble. And then he just goes, remember me? And I'm like, and immediately I could tell he was crazy. So I was just like, yeah. And then I just was like looking at my phone, like eager to walk away, talking to John.
Were there other
or
people
something.
around there?
Jalen was with me. And then there was a lot of people getting on a bus, and then he was getting on a bus that rolled up too, a 93 or something. And then he said, remember me and stuff? And I was like, yeah. And then, I don't know. I have no idea why I said yes. It was just because I wanted everything to just end so I could go to my mom.
Yeah.
So I just said, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then I kept on walking. And then he's like, I'm Skylar. And then he goes, hey, you're dumb, really aggressively, like insanely aggressively as he's walking onto the bus. It's kind of disconcerting. But anyways, here's the far better story. I was approached by a black guy on campus. I was just walking just randomly outside, and then a black guy just stops me. And he goes,
Dan has a black girlfriend, by the way, so it's okay when he says black guy.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say black.
Dan's actually black.
He was very black, and you'll see why in a sec. He explains
all
it.
black on
But
the
basically,
inside.
he came up to me and he's just like, "Hey, and I can't remember the name because I was so thrown off by him walking up to me, and I was a little threatened, just because he was like, not because he was black, but because he just walked up to me and he just walked up and like was close to me and very aggressive, so it was just totally threw me off. But
That's if you hear any noise in the background, that's my father receiving his hockey bag. But anyway.
But yeah, then he was like, "Hi, I'm whatever," he said, and I was like, "I'm Dan," and then he prompted a handshake, and I shook his hand. It was completely random, and then he goes, "Nice to meet you. Do you study here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are you from around here?" And I was like, "Well, no, not really. I live like pretty far away, like away from campus." And he goes, "No, I mean, are you from Canada?" And I was like, "Well, I was born in Ukraine, but like I moved here when I was 1.5, so basically." And he goes, "Oh, okay, all right." And he's like, "Cause I just came here from Zimbabwe," and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's so cool." And then he goes, and he had this very slight accent, so I guess I could tell, but he was very good at English. And then he goes, "Anyway, I just wanted to stop you to say that," and then his tone suddenly got like really serious, and he goes, "God is madly in love with you."
Whoa.
That's what he said.
You were so lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Was he
I
trying to
was-
convert you or something?
No, not at all. That's literally all he had to say. He was just like, "Well, I wanted to." He was really nice and charming at first, and I was actually really comfortable talking to him. And I was like, kind of wanted to get to know him at that point. And then, because I just thought he was a foreign guy, I wanted to make friends and establish things while he was first getting here. But then he just said that he was like, "God is
really-
madly in love with you," and it was
that's
weirdly
really
like
weird.
sexual or something. It was like God is infatuated with me.
God is mad.
And I
Are you
was
sure you didn't like hallucinate that?
No,
loves your body.
it was not hallucinated. The whole time I was asking myself, "Is this happening?" And it was.
Weird.
Oh, it's
That's
so
really
weird. Like when
disconcerting.
as he said that, I was like, Jesus Christ, is he like,
Have
no
you-
God? Is God
have
trying
you
to like
seen him
attack me?
since?
I was so disconcerted. I have not, but he has such a nice face and stuff. I don't know. But then I just
know.
went, "Oh, okay, thank you." And he goes, "Did you know that?" And I go, "No, I didn't, but thank you." And then he didn't say bye or anything. He just walked away.
He's like,
So
God is
random.
madly in love with you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
He didn't even say bye. Just,
He's probably
God is in
disappointed
love with
that
you.
you
That's
didn't
literally
know
it. He's just like, "God is madly." Well, I don't know. I didn't want to lie and be like, "Yeah, I knew. I absolutely believe in God."
Yeah.
So I was just like, "No," but I'm glad you told me. I actually wanted to be nice to him and be like, "Yes, thank you," because it was kind of a nice thing for him to say.
you should
And
have
so I was
just
like,
been
"Thank you,"
"Yeah, God and I
and then
went on a
straight
date
up
the
he
other
walked
day."
away. And then I just went to the gym. So
So
That
that
was
reminds
that.
me. This is actually perfect for two segues, and the former we'll get to after. But I was at Farm Boy. I used to work there. It's a grocery store, and I don't know if I mentioned that before in the casts, but
you probably haven't.
I don't
but
think so.
I don't think you have.
anyway, yeah. So I used to work there in the meat department, and
Used to be a farm boy.
I used to be a farm boy. And this guy comes up to me, and it's like the end of the day, so it was just before closing time. So they were kind of like trying to get everyone out of the store, and he's taking his sweet time, you know. And like there was like 3 employees all working, like closing down the shop,
Okay.
and we're all staring at him because we're like, you know, he's the last customer in the store, and he's taking his sweet time, and he's looking at us and smiling.
Wow. What time was this at?
It was 9 o'clock,
Okay,
so it was
so
just
you-
about to
okay.
close,
All right.
and we're like, do you
Is
need
this
any?
just like a crazies? Like, are we just gonna discuss like crazy people that we've seen?
that is part. That's what my first thing was
Okay,
gonna say.
cool.
But
'cause
anyway,
I want to hear this.
Yeah,
I like
so-
crazy people.
I love crazy people.
They're my favorite people.
So anyway, so the guy, we kind of go up to him and like we're like, "Do you want any help with anything, sir?" And he goes, "This is a fine piece of meat," and he holds up a steak. and we say, "Oh, well, I'm glad you like it." And he goes, "You know what? You guys at Farm Boy, you got the best meat in town." And we go, "Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you." And we say, "Well, can we help you find anything else?" And his wife comes up to him. His wife's like dressed like literally like a gypsy, and she's really fat. And she comes up to him, and he puts his arm around her, and he says, "Let me tell you something, kids. God bless you." And we say, I kind of laughed because I'm atheist, and I was just kind of like, "Oh, you know, thanks." And the guy goes,
Sorry.
and the guy goes, "Do you have any other similar steaks to this?" And I go over and I hand him one, and he's like, "God bless you. God bless you. You are
Jesus
such a
Christ.
great guy."
He's so
like,
nice.
and he keeps blessing us, and then he pulls me aside, and my coworker's watching, and he says, "Do you want to know something? God is in a river in Ottawa."
He says this?
Yeah, he says God is in the river in southern Ontario right now. Today's the day. He says they're washing him. No, it was Jesus. Sorry, I said God. It was Jesus.
Okay,
He said,
that makes more
Jesus is in the river and they're washing him.
That was behind my house, probably.
Yeah, they're washing
Oh,
Jesus
casual.
behind Nick's house.
Nick was.
And he says-
Nick is
Nick
Jesus.
is
We
Jesus.
figured it out.
It was me. Yeah, I went
Nick
swimming
is
that
Jesus.
day.
He's got the beard.
But he says
The beard guy.
they're washing Jesus and the government's there, and they're putting a microchip in Jesus' head. He said, in the coming,
This sounds completely made up.
No,
okay?
I swear, this guy is crazy. So he says, in the coming weeks,
How did you get him out? Did he end up like killing someone?
I'll get there.
Okay.
He says, in the coming weeks, people are gonna come to Farm Boy, and they're gonna come to your homes, and they're gonna ask you if you want microchips in your head.
Oh.
You have to say no, because you may think that they're Jesus's microchips, but it's the government, and they're gonna control you. And he says, and this is how the rapture is gonna happen.
That's interesting.
And we go, okay. And he goes, God bless you. And he walks away.
Jesus.
And we're all like looking at each other like, what the hell? And he walks up to the front of the store, and apparently, we're told afterwards by our manager, because she's laughing because she saw him talking to us. Apparently, he goes up to one of the girls at the cash, and he tells her she's impure, and he tells her that Jesus is gonna put microchips in her head, but not to accept the government's microchips. That the Jesus microchip is gonna purify her. And when
what a weird guy.
we saw him walk up to his red car, and when I left work half an hour later, his car was still in the parking lot, but he was at a bagel shop next door, and he was talking to the lady at the cash, and I can only believe that he was telling her about the
Yeah, he
microchips.
definitely
He must
was.
have been. Well,
He was the prophet of
if you
the
seriously
microchips.
believe that would be something that you would urgently want to tell people. So I kind of, when religious people seriously do try to convert me, originally I always found it very offensive, and I got mad, and I was like, "Hey, leave me alone with all that stuff." But now that I think about it, if they seriously believe that, then that's really nice of them, because they're trying to save me from just eternal hell.
Well, yeah, but
That'd be
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Like,
That's interesting to me that
yeah.
he made the distinction between the Jesus microchips and the government microchips.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
like their own.
so he was like, don't believe the lies.
Like, make sure you get the right microchip when when it comes time.
You have to get the right make and model,
You have to
the
be-
right frequency.
I think that with all this stuff, I feel like, don't you think Jesus would have enough powers where you could kind of like
He could just
stop
zap
the
the
government
microchips
from
and
Yeah,
get
yeah,
rid
yeah.
himself.
You think he wouldn't really have problems with them? Like, what were they doing, washing him? Or something?
That sounds pretty heavenly,
But like,
right?
it was so weird the way he said it, because it was like he said like they're cleaning him, but he's in the river. So like I just assumed that they were like washing him with the river
The
water.
river is dirty.
Maybe
got the
maybe-
auto
The
river
government
is
is dirty. This is all
The
dirty.
government is the.
That's probably all the sewage and stuff was going over Jesus.
Religious kooks.
But if
So,
he's
like-
Jesus, like, do you think he could just clean himself?
because he can just go to the
No,
walk
he's
on
a
it, right?
vegetable.
Like he can just go to
Yeah.
the top, I think. right
Isn't
away.
Jesus too like noble to like be a clean?
No. He was born in like in a stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's not noble at all.
He's
He's
livestock.
like
oh no,
humble.
but that's the idea. Yeah.
His like spirit is.
So maybe it is bad that they're cleaning him because they're trying to make him a noble corporate slave.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They're trying
yeah.
to dress him up.
Yeah, they're like gonna give Jesus a haircut and like make his beard put in a
Just make him
ponytail.
That was actually
Yeah.
a music
That'd be
video
sick.
for there was a German band that had a music video called
wow.
Pop Sign Rockstar.
Oh,
where they
yeah.
take Jesus and they shave his beard and they make him take a bunch of pictures of him.
Oh yeah, that's the band Oomph.
Yeah, but
yeah.
then they at
Oh,
the
I've
end he
heard
doesn't like it, so he goes back to being a homeless guy.
I want that to be a movie. Like if Jesus just became a completely typical like
A teeny bopper.
white collar worker.
Yeah, it's like a Jesus coming of age movie.
Jesus finds
But he
himself.
like he doesn't arc at all. He goes from being Jesus and he's like, fuck this. He just goes back to being Jesus.
Let's do this. Let's make that.
So yeah, basically what I wanted to transition to with that is the other day, me and Marky were talking about that I love it when people go crazy. Like I actually love it because if a crazy person comes up to you, so here's an example. Like Kevin was sitting on the bus. We have a friend Kevin, and this guy comes up to him and he says, "Do you know how to do a kickflip?" And Kevin says, "No, I don't."
Was this like some like teenager bro? Because
No. It was a crazy guy. It was like a homeless guy.
that's interesting.
And,
That's
and
a
he
weird
comes up
question
and
for
he
a
comes
crazy
up and
homeless
what apparently he meant was like he explained to Kevin what he meant was like where you jump up and like clack your heels together, like a gesture thing, like you know like the da 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 like clack your
Yeah.
heels.
guy. Okay, I see.
And I thought about it, right? Because at first I laughed when Kevin told me the story. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. But I thought about it, and Kevin looks like someone who could do like a heel
yeah,
clack.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that for sure.
So I got to thinking, because I was at Algonquin College and I was walking around and I have like a beard and I was wearing a hood, and this guy looked at me like I was a crazy person, right? Like he thought I was nuts. Like I could see it in his eyes, and I got to thinking, like maybe crazy people are onto something. Because when crazy, like I guess me looking crazy is unrelated, but when a crazy person tells you something, it's like fully 100% what they believe.
Yeah.
You know, and like if you look
Like,
at a
they're
crazy
not-
person,
They're not shackled by
yeah,
society.
it's like uncensored.
Completely. No, they have no filter.
Yeah,
It's so interesting, like watching them or trying to listen to what they're saying, and then try to interpret what crazy story they've
Yeah.
seriously
Like
built
what
up
they
on
could
in their
actually
head
like
Yeah, yeah.
where
and
it's coming
completely
from.
developed and like believe. It's insane. Like It's extremely intriguing though. And there was a time after I did like LSD when I was kind of worrying about my sanity. Because I'd start to like, well, seriously, like while
I kinda
working
went
and
through that
stuff.
too.
Yeah, no, but it was like a weird one. It was like I think I was dreaming sometimes, and then
I didn't have it like that.
I'd be very worried and be like, okay, I just start to realize basically, and it felt so true that I could easily be dreaming. I looked into it too, and I'm pretty sure it was depersonalizations. You can look into them. They're very weird and rare mental things, but I legitimately was having them because I wouldn't believe that what was around me was real, and I wouldn't know how to behave around people. I would suddenly like be out of myself and just forget about social construct and stuff, and I'd just be like, holy crap, all of this could completely be made up. And it convinced me so much, just myself thinking about this over and over. I seriously started to convince myself of that.
But I get
and
that.
now I kind of understand crazy people.
No, but I
They're just
understand.
opposite.
I really get crazy people because I'm on the bus and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at someone, right? And they're like texting, like I text too, like whatever, but they're like texting and they look like a teeny bopper, and I'm looking at them and I think to myself, I would eat this person.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
I was actually
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't eat
on
anyone.
the bus.
But
I
On the
thought
bus
that.
here, I was like thinking that. I was like staring at like cute girls sitting across from me, and I was like,
No, sometimes girls are just edible looking. It's completely
No,
like
actually, yeah.
you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
just nutritional value in them, whether or not they're
all
attractive.
calories,
Nutritious and
right?
delicious.
Shervin and I have spoken about this since
oh,
like,
me
grade
and
9.
Shervin have spoken about this too.
There
yeah.
was like specifically a girl. I remember this instance. Shervin and I were in the hallway in high school. in
Shervin
grade
told her.
10.
Yeah.
Devin walked by this like perfectly
yeah.
scrumptious looking girl. She's just slightly. She wasn't even chubby. She just looks like muscular and just has a good like value, just very filling. And so Shervin was just like, "You're delicious," as she walked by, and she was
What
just
was her
like,
reaction
"Oh."
to that?
She was really just typical. She's a very typical girl. She just
Yeah,
got
yeah.
weirded and creeped out and kind of confused. And she was just like, "Oh," and then just like walked away. And he was like, "I had to say it." And I was like, "I'm proud."
Shervin told us he was gonna say that to her.
I
Like, the
remember
weekend
him like
before,
planning.
yeah.
He was like, "I have to
Yeah.
do this," and I was like, "Yeah, you should."
Because I told Shervin, I was like, you know, when you just want to bite into a girl's butt, you know, it wasn't like eating them. It was just like a girl's a nice butt and you want to bite it.
Yes, I completely
Yeah.
get that too.
And
I've
Shervin
done
was like,
that.
yeah, except for there's this one girl in my school that I want to tell her that I'm gonna eat her, and I was like, you should do it. So then,
No, yeah, I remember because he said she was. It started off. He was like, "You're delicious," and she was. I think she said, "What?" Or "What do you mean?" And he was like,
I wanna
"I
eat
want
you."
to eat you." And then she just walked away.
There's not really a lot you can say to that. Like,
I know, like
it's like,
yeah.
oh,
okay.
thanks. Do you want fries with that?
I wonder if she seriously thought he was gonna like try it, like if she felt threatened or something. Because
I would
knew
feel
Shervin was
pretty
just a bit of a.
probably.
if I was a
Like,
girl,
yeah,
if I was a
yeah.
girl and a guy told me he was gonna eat me, I'd
Just came out
stab
of the
him.
blue,
Yeah.
like,
I'd kill him before he could kill me.
I get
I
wet.
don't
I'd
know,
eat
man.
him.
Girls, if you see any of us, kill
I'd get
us.
so wet and drown him.
Ew.
He'd eat you. He'd start eating you, and then you just like.
So
like,
Mark,
choke
You have to
him.
kind of
Just
lure
thirst.
him in, like get him to start eating you, then break his neck.
so Marky, you live in Montreal. There's a lot of homeless people
Yeah,
in
there's a
Montreal.
lot of crazy homeless people all around.
So do you have any good
Yes,
stories?
I've seen countless.
Typically, because typically a lot of people on the metro, there's usually homeless guys.
Can
or
I
just kinda,
quickly
like,
just
crazy
ask,
people.
we should
why
talk
is
about
Montreal more prone to homeless crazies?
I
Well,
think
it's just a
'cause-
bigger
I
city.
think it's also because they had some mental hospitals that got shut down,
Oh, really?
or because that's
Oh.
usually how
That would
homeless
totally
people
explain
get
it.
released,
Yeah,
kind of.
of course.
Unleashed upon society.
They're like, unleash the mental. Well, that's horrible.
Unleash
But
the horde.
That's how the government stabilizes. Like,
That's
how
how
I
know, but
Left
like, 'cause- 'cause-
That's like
'cause-
Left 4 Dead, how it started.
because when I lived in Montreal, like you and I would walk down the street, and like we're both pretty good about like if a homeless person's like, you got any change?
Yeah,
like
usually,
we'll both.
usually I interact with them.
Yeah,
like,
we're
'cause
not-
Most people kind
yeah.
of just like look over them or like look past.
Yeah,
but like,
Yeah, I always like try
usually
to
I
engage
like
them a
yeah,
little
talk
bit.
to them. Like, a
I don't
little
really,
bit,
I don't give them what they want, but I'll still like engage them a little and be like, oh no, I'm sorry, but hey.
Oh,
you
I'd
know,
give them money, man. I was gonna like.
I never.
wow,
have
you
change.
give them money?
Well,
Like,
if
I
a
literally
homeless
never
guy,
have change on me.
because I was
Why would you
poor.
do that?
I
Like,
was
they're
so
not gonna-
poor when I lived in Montreal. I literally at one point had a toonie to my name. I had literally a toonie, and I spent it on a junior chicken, and like I was like, this is a damn good junior chicken. And like I remember I was at a bar with our friend Phil, and he found a toonie on the floor and he gave it to me. He was like, I'm not even gonna
nice.
take this. You need it more than I do. So I saw homeless people. And like at some points I had more money. I had like $5 in my pocket. He's like, "Can I have $1, man?" And other people say like, "I'm not gonna give him money. He's just gonna blow it on heroin." I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm
Well,
gonna
let
give
him
him.
get what he wants.
I'm gonna
honestly.
if he's homeless, the winter's coming. It's gonna be -30.
Might as well
Yeah, his
get
life's
some
basically
heroin
over already.
first.
Let him enjoy
Yeah.
it.
He might as well do some heroin. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
care what he spends
nah,
it on, man.
nah.
As long as he's happy.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
You deserve it more.
I deserve the money more.
You deserve the
I don't
heroin.
deserve it more.
I
Man.
would say
Yeah, maybe you
objectively
deserve it more,
do.
but you don't need it.
I would be probably like better use of society at this point in my life than
God.
a homeless person.
I
but-
bet teeny boppers are listening to this and just be like, "How dare they like
How
be against
dare they-
homeless
How dare they
people?"
give
Wait, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
saying I'm
how
not
dare they
against
not
homeless
care
No,
people.
yeah,
homeless
I'm saying I am.
You should
I'm
like
not
start
into
a
like
debate.
killing them or eating them, but
I don't think a homeless
Like,
person would ever really be.
I
don't
think
think
I
it tastes very
firmly
good.
believe
Like,
that they
bum
most
fighting?
of them don't. Obviously, objectively, most of them don't
Yeah.
deserve money
It's
that
like
you're gonna
I
give
don't know.
That was
I don't know.
that movie.
because
Home
most
with
of them
the
are going to
Shotgun.
spend it on
Home with
the
the Shotgun's a sick
alcohol that
movie.
caused them to be
I
homeless.
literally
or the
only
drug
watch
that
it.
caused
Yeah,
them
but I
to be
mean,
homeless.
like, whatever.
No, not whatever. That's that you're helping them ruin themselves, like destroy their
Yeah,
lives.
I mean, but like, it's
Yeah, but they're
it's either
already
that or they're
destroyed.
dead
It's like
anyway.
you can't go much lower at that.
Yeah,
point.
so wait, you're
They're
just gonna
already
like.
So
destroyed.
it's like it's
So
pretty
it
much
Do you
yeah.
Like,
get
the damage
pleasure
is
out of
done.
it? Do you get
No,
anything
I
out
don't
of
get
giving
like. Well, I
someone-
get a little bit of
giving
pleasure.
a homeless person money.
Yeah.
Well, because what if they actually buy it on, spend it on
Like you
food?
could legitimately, like you could be legitimately contributing to them making
You know
their
what,
life
though-
better, or
Or you
their
could just
life's
make them-
already
yeah,
destroyed
yeah.
anyway. So who cares?
So-
But
I guess
okay,
it's
hear me out.
enjoy
Hear me out here though.
themselves.
You give a homeless guy food. That's what you should do. If a guy's outside of a McDonald's asking for money, you go inside, you buy him a junior chicken, and you give it to
You're
him.
not fixing any problem.
You're giving him
You're
food.
You're
fixing
fixing
his
his
hunger,
hunger.
yeah.
You're helping one guy.
Like you're letting him
So?
survive a little
be a
longer.
little
So,
less.
Man, you just gotta help everyone.
Here's what you gotta do. You gotta help
No,
me
Dan wants
out.
to, like, help
I
him
have
Help Dan,
a
give
website
Dan-
called Help Danilo.
Helpdillo.com. He has a PayPal, Bitcoin. accepted.
Helpdillo.com.
Bit.
Here's his own box.
I have a zone
Drop
box.
in the zone.
Drop in
You can
it.
support his Patreon
Just,
if you want.
yeah. Just give
Kickstarter.
please anything you can.
Go
spare.
Indiegogo.
But yeah, Marky, you ever have any homeless experiences, or a guy,
typically-
or crazy,
Oh,
or
wow.
just
Yeah.
mental
Certainly does.
crazy
I
guys?
was actually just this weekend. I was in Montreal. I went to McGill to go to a hackathon, and I was just leaving, and I was really tired.
What is
you know?
that?
It's basically you stay up for 24 hours and like program
people?
something.
Okay.
Yeah, you hack the
Okay.
But the end result, I was really tired when I walked out. And this kind of guy, he wasn't like a crazy person, but he had like Down syndrome, I think. And he was kind of like, he was talking to the different people at the bus, and like they were all kind of looking away. And
Okay.
he came up to me, and
So he
was
just had
like,
Down syndrome.
yeah,
I wouldn't,
But
like,
people
those
are
are
really
very,
normal.
like,
It was kind of.
traditional.
So he came up to me, and he's like, "Hi, like I'm I can't remember. George. I'm George."
Okay.
And I said, "Hey, I'm Mark." And
That's so fitting of
He's
a
like,
name
"Oh,
to
so
me.
where'd you come from?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just at McGill." He's like, "Oh, I go there." I'm like, "Oh, sick. Like, nice one, George."
Wow, that's awesome.
And then the bus pulled up really quick, and I was like talking to him a bit more. He's like, "So like, where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going, out west. Like, I live there." He's like, "Oh, cool." And we got on, and people were kind of like just like not looking, and they were getting on. And then George sat down at the front, and it was kind of on the front seats of the bus where like usually like pregnant women and stuff
Yeah.
sit.
Okay.
And George kind of like motioned someone, and they left, and George sat down.
Sick.
Yes, George is
And then I was
Big
walking by,
alphas.
and George, like, everyone was kind of like looking down, and they didn't like the girl like seated it really quickly because she didn't want to make a scene or anything. And George, he's like, "Hey, Mark, like, have a good ride," and he put his fist up, and I gave him a fist bump, and then I just
Oh
walked.
my
George is the
god,
best.
the
That
confidence
reminds me.
boost you
At
must have had.
Chio, I work at the children's hospital here, and they just have like I work in the basement there, and they just like there's just this one room dedicated. It's full of like people with Down syndrome who do like all kinds of like computer work for them, and it's I don't know. I just love looking at them.
Oh,
Wait,
nice.
They're just always
Looking at
happy.
them.
They're always they always
Yeah,
look
yeah.
happy to me.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
I just
Um,
love Down syndrome people.
yeah. That guy
I
was
love
like,
George, man.
George was like a
George
dominant.
was sick, honestly.
Yeah, I
dominant
love-
monkey
I just-
motherfucker.
no,
very
George sounds great.
enthusiastic.
I want to meet George.
I just
Um,
pretty much
George.
like I was saying before about crazy like homeless people
I like
and
George
like giving
and
homeless
Steve.
people food. That's pretty much the same thing for like anyone. Like as soon as I see someone who's like less fortunate or people don't like them or people look at them weird because they wearing a weird types of clothes, I always like those kind of people because they're like
no, man.
they're the most genuine, just like
Yeah, I do
trying to
too.
get by. They're just trying to get by.
You gotta
No,
empathize with them.
aren't
a little
we
bit.
all?
They
I
don't
certainly
understand
like
the
weird
person.
weird people. I immediately have because it's just fun. At least trying to interact with someone who doesn't get that much interaction is always like
I don't know.
somewhat pleasant.
Sometimes I feel like threatened by them, but I
Yeah,
don't need to be.
Yeah, like one time I was a little kid and this crazy guy came up to me in the mall and he gave me the finger and he said "fuck God" and then ran away. And I was like five.
That was probably Dan.
I want to
Yeah, that was
introduce
me.
that guy to the
It was like
Zimbabwe
30-year-old
guys
Dan.
that you met.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
In the future,
You could have
just,
like fuck God versus love God. And see who
God
gets
is
on top.
God loves
I
you.
want to
Do
ask you
you
guys
know
this
that?
question because a lot of people have fantasized about doing this, and I believe I have when I was like 5 or 6 or something, very young, because it's a kind of juvenile fantasy. But what would you guys do if you saw like a Down syndrome person or a retard getting bullied, like openly to them?
I like that you called him a retard in that. You're like, when you saw,
Don't bully.
That's like the technical name.
You're
Fuck
a
off.
dad,
It
you're
bugs
like-
me so much when people are
I
like,
don't-
"Don't call them."
I don't
that."
like how retard is like not politically.
Yeah, it's honestly,
well,
like,
it doesn't
100%
really
fine.
matter.
It's like it's literally used in scientific terms.
But I mean, no one really bullies Down syndrome people. Like,
Well, why?
No,
would
but that's
you,
why
though?
it's such
That's
a
like the
ridiculous
worst thing.
juvenile
yeah,
fantasy. If
yeah.
you're actually imagining that, then that's just you trying to.
I'd just go up to them and just be like, come on.
I'd tell them to
Yeah.
fuck off.
Come on.
I would probably like.
I'd be like, look at yourself. You're like
Well, it's
bullying,
like
A
someone
couple
with Down
years ago,
syndrome.
I might have not done it, but now I feel like I definitely
Okay.
would do it.
Yeah. At this
Yeah.
point, I feel.
Because like, what do I have to lose?
I would definitely
yeah,
bully
exactly.
someone.
I would.
I would
No, I
absolutely
actually-
bully a Down
I would
syndrome.
bully a Down
I
syndrome
bully-
person, so someone else would have the
I bully
opportunity
people
to
all
say
the
it,
Yes.
and they can.
Give
I just
other
go
people
up.
confidence.
I go up and just like take people's like bus passes and like snap them in half, and then push them in front of buses.
Now here's something. What would you guys do? And I have a very controversial opinion on this, and I've gotten in huge arguments in high school about this, but what would you guys do if you saw guys making fun of a retarded person completely behind their back, and you knew that that retarded person had no idea and would not have
I
any
would
idea?
probably not.
Okay,
do
what's
anything.
your?
I
Would
wouldn't
you guys
butt in,
be
'cause that's,
mad?
like, no,
What's
that's
your
not my
opinion?
business,
I
man.
think it's 100% fine. If they're getting joy out of that kid and he will not know, if you know for a fact he will find
Yeah.
out, everybody's happy, and I think it's
I'm
stupid that
tempted to
people are
agree
so
because
close
he's
to
not
it.
being like,
Yes, their
like
jokes
the
are
kid's
dumb
not
as
being
hell.
directly affected by it.
So who cares?
I think the
Exactly.
only
That's
thing
all
is
that
Like
matters.
his maybe his
when they do
reputation,
that,
but
they're-
like
I was just gonna say when
Yeah,
they do
sorry,
that,
go ahead.
like they kind of. The only bad thing is that they're kind of bringing him down in like their mind.
In, like,
They're- but
society's
it's like,
eyes.
yeah. But
So
like
if
if
lots
it's
of
only
people
within
do
their
that-
group,
Uh huh.
I see what
What
you're saying.
does
So
it
they're
matter?
influencing
If you
like.
just
No,
know
but
once, I
you
guess
know
it's
what?
not a big deal,
Like
but-
Dan, I understand your perspective because it's like if it's not harming anyone really, like
Yeah, I
they're-
think
if-
fundamentally what you're worrying about is that kids. Why am I saying kid? It could be an adult. Just that retarded person's happiness level. Well, fundamentally, that's the most important thing. And if it's not being touched, let everything happen. It's fine. And if
Yeah.
they're not like
Yeah, I
being
agree.
obviously, if their lives are being worsened without them knowing, but I don't think their lives
in
are
my
being
case-
their
worsened in
lives
that
aren't being
case.
affected. If it's just if it
Exactly.
sticks within that group, and then it doesn't affect them. Like they don't
Yeah.
know. They don't
All I
know,
do is
it
look at
doesn't
the
matter.
got people make fun of them and just be like, fuck those people.
But
'cause they
like
have a
if
shit
those
sense of
if
humor.
that group
Yeah.
are,
That goes in my
legitimately,
head. I
like,
would not be like,
if that group
wow,
is like
how dare
actively
they?
trying to
They're,
like sabotage
worsening-
like the kid's adult's life,
Well, yeah, then that's obvious.
that's like bad.
That's
I think
like
the
something I would
problem is
stop.
that it's like if they're doing that a lot, then probably the next time they actually meet someone, they're going to be more inclined.
Yeah,
to,
more, like,
kind
able-
of give him like
yeah.
body language,
I
or show
guess
so
so.
they think that they're better.
That's
than
true.
him
So,
and
well,
everything.
Yeah,
I
like,
guess
they'll
you
be, like,
should
more
talk to them so
standoffish
you
and
can try to
aggressive.
fix their views. These like bullies in quotation marks.
But yeah, no, it's basically you live your life however you want,
I agree.
and I don't care.
Well, the
I
thing
won't
is,
judge you.
like Martina, this girl that Yanni recently became friends with, bleep that name out. Just bleep it out. But yeah,
I'll only judge
she
you.
and I used to have this. You don't even need to bleep out. She
No,
would literally
she-
agree with what I'm saying.
yeah,
right now.
whatever.
She and I used to argue all the time about that because I would say the F word, fag, very loudly with her in public. Usually, always ironically, obviously, just very jokingly. Nick would be there sometimes, and we just say it. And she,
Or we
every
just, like,
time
yell.
it was said, yeah, or we just like
just,
yell
like,
and
say,
be
like,
loud.
silly
yeah,
or
but
be
you
goofy.
guys are like really.
Yeah,
yeah.
but the point is,
We're gay
fags. But the thing is, she would like basically cringe every time something was said that could possibly bug someone else, and she's very like into making everyone around her extremely comfortable. I'm not at all for that. I'm a
Well, I
goof,
think
and
she
if
has
you
like
don't really like being
a
around me,
different
just leave.
idea of how people perceive like people being comfy, right?
Yes,
'Cause,
she
like-
thinks everybody views it like her.
Like for me, like if I'm like being a goof, if I'm like being friendly, I feel like people will be more comfortable with me than
Yeah.
if I was just sitting there
the
quietly.
thing, and if I hear
And, like,
goofs
being, like,
like
aggressive.
you, if I were to hear you, I would actually legitimately
just
just
clean
be
up
more
my
comfy.
sock.
I'd listen in the
Yeah.
background and kind of laugh and stuff.
So
Yeah,
Marky,
no, I'm like when people are like that, I'm always
So
the
just-
same way.
Even if they say fag, I'm just like,
I'm saying,
that's funny.
guy.
So
Because
just-
no one's actually seriously trying to like
Yeah.
be offensive.
so just now, Marky was jerking off, and
Okay.
he
Me too.
and
I
he
just came on the carpet.
He just
a little
jerked off
bit.
all
so
over
he
me.
came on the
Yeah, I
carpet
saw that,
and I
yeah.
cleaned it up with my sock, and now my sock's all sticky.
This is a good question. Do you guys use a sock? Because I've always heard
I tried it one
guys-
time. I tried to
I've
save
literally
no,
never used a
legitimately.
sock.
Never.
One
I don't
time.
understand.
Like,
Any
I don't
urge
want
Oh my
whatsoever
God.
to like break
Never,
a sock
yeah.
out.
I can literally
I've,
guarantee you guys that you're completely right to not try it.
Yeah.
I heard about it so much.
I know. Ever
you know,
talked
TV
about it's like,
shows,
oh, I
people
like
are
the
just
cum
like,
socks.
yeah.
Like, and I
Yeah.
Why
put
would
my
you do?
cum
I
sock
like.
on,
I need my
haha,
socks.
People
like,
would just
for
be
my
like,
feet.
"Oh, who's his girlfriend? His sock."
It's like, haha.
Yeah, I tried it in like
understand
grade
this.
10, I believe, because
Yeah.
I had one moment. I was just like, "Hang on a sec." I've never tried that. It might be feel amazing. It probably
No,
doesn't, but I'm gonna give it a
definitely
shot.
not.
It felt terrible.
feel gross on
Immediately
my
was just
feet. I don't even
one of
like
my
Yeah, I
socks.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't know. I
even
used
like
a clean
that.
one, but I immediately
always
just threw it away. I'm
I
pretty
use
sure I
a
used one
tissue.
that my friend gave me.
Or my hand
as
if
a
it's an
joke one time.
emergency.
Yeah.
No, but like, okay, you know what I hate?
You gotta go. You gotta.
You know what I hate? Those memes. You know what I hate? Those memes that's
Those
like
fucking
on
memers.
Valentine's Day, my girlfriend's my hand. I hate that meme so much.
I've never seen
That's not
that, and
even
I'm
a
glad.
meme.
I
No,
have
you know,
it.
like,
Now
people-
you ruined
people are
it.
like-
That's
people-
just like bad self-deprecating humor.
People will post a picture on Facebook like of their hand,
Oh,
and
me,
they'll be
like,
like,
me in the bay.
yeah, me in the bay or something. It's so stupid.
That's funny.
I like the Bay Caught Me Sleeping, but they're just taking them like a selfie of themselves.
Oh yeah, that was a funny one when the girl took a selfie of herself. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
They got me slipping.
Um,
So yeah,
Yeah.
Let's go back to the
You were
funny.
gonna
Let's go back to the lols.
Yeah.
You were gonna.
I forget.
I don't like getting
let's,
serious.
Let's go back to the lols. Are you guys ready for some lols?
Okay.
Let's talk about memes.
I have some things I want to plug.
You're plugging now?
No,
Plug
no,
me.
No,
I
let's
wanna
say
plug.
some
I don't
lols.
wanna
Plug
plug.
them later. Plug them later.
No, I don't want to plug. I have something I wanted to do though. Can
Plug
I do
some
it now?
lols.
Oh yeah,
into
sure.
the
Want me to-
podcast.
yeah, cool with it?
Okay, Dan. Okay, funny lols brought to you by Dan.
If anybody who's listening has watched the show Inside the Actor's Studio, at the end, what's his name? Can't remember that guy's name now, but he always asks the actors this thing called the Bernard Pivot questionnaire, which was I guess originally by this guy named Bernard Pivot. It's just a bunch of questions that are very, very interesting, very simple, but you never really think to answer them. And I really want to know what your guys'
Okay,
answers
go
are.
go like down the line. Like we'll
Yeah,
start
yeah,
with
okay,
Mark.
Okay, yeah, this
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay.
There's such nice questions. Sometimes you want to think about them more, but just give me whatever
Yeah.
you first comes to your mind. Question number 1: what's your favorite word?
One that I use like in a often, or just one that.
What's
I
your
can think
favorite
of?
word? Just what's one you like?
I kind of like just one that comes to my mind right now is exacerbated.
Oh, I
exasperate.
hate that one.
I love it because it just like makes
like-
it
I
worse.
like
you know?
It sounds like
Exacerbate.
masturbate. Too.
I know, yeah. It's a nice like you can kind of like
Just
have that little like
slide
connotation
by
of
it.
masturbation, but it's also like getting worse, you know.
Okay, that's a pretty good
So
one.
exacerbating
Yanni?
your masturbation.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite word is
It's a tough one.
my
actually.
I
favorite
just
word.
pulled that one out. And that was the first thing I thought.
I
of.
had an answer to
I
this
actually
a long time
thought
ago.
of
My-
this before.
wait,
but the first
I'm
one that
so
comes to
sad
mind-
about the fact that
My
I
favorite
forgot
word is
mine.
hand.
Hand.
Really? That's
Yeah.
an awful hit word.
Hand. Because I say because I say
confirm.
because I say, hey man, give me a hand. I say hand.
Hand.
Oh, okay.
And
Now
so I
like
love it
Now
because
like this.
I love it because I always say hand and then people look at me and go, "What'd you say?" I say hand. I say, "No, you said hand." And I say, "No."
Okay, I actually love that now.
Okay,
that's a
Nick,
good one.
what's your
Okay,
favorite
my
word?
favorite word's actually in a different language. It's a chuchala.
Chuchella?
Chuchella.
What does that mean
Is that
again?
Russian?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Scarecrow.
Oh.
Oh, that's
I
a
thought-
great word.
Or like monster.
Oh,
or
yeah, that's
something,
right.
Le
You
chuchella.
know what?
It's like,
Do you know what
the
kukla means?
chuchella.
You know what kukla means? I know
Kukla
Russian.
means
I've never heard kukla.
kukla means
Kukla
doll
means
in
doll,
Greek.
yeah.
Doll?
It means doll in Russian.
Kukla means doll in
Oh,
Greek.
I
Oh,
did.
you guys are brothers.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
And I suppose my favorite word, I can't remember. I don't even want to answer this because I forgot
Don't
the
answer
one I
it.
had.
Answer
You're the
it.
questioner.
I want to
ready
hear
up.
your answer.
Okay, I'm
Dan.
not gonna say it. It's gonna. I don't know.
What
what
is
it
your
was.
answer?
Dan's favorite word is something really edgy.
Something. It
Penis.
was something beautiful and smooth and like perfect
Penis.
length. No, it was like a
Beautiful,
perfect length.
smooth
It was like
penis.
I
Oh,
believe
penis.
three syllables,
Penis is my
just a
favorite
nice
word.
length.
Penis is a pretty good word.
Okay,
Guys
well,
like to draw penises on everything. Guys like to say penis. Guys are obsessed with penises, and I'm serious. Like gay people, straight people, bisexual people,
Anyone.
asexual people, transsexual
penis.
people.
Penises are
If
just
you identify,
fascinating.
if you identify as a guy or ever has identified as a guy, you love penis, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. When me and Marky were little, we used to go in the locker room in class,
Yeah,
and we used to
we
draw
used to.
penises.
Damn
I swear to
right.
God.
I thought you were
Every-
gonna tell
Amen.
the other locker room
Amen.
penis story.
Wait, what's the other locker room
Where
penis
we,
story?
Did
penis
you guys
jokes in.
legitimately draw like things in the stalls? I've never done.
No,
that.
not on the lockers. Like we'd make comics.
Oh.
Like
We
where
dipped our
the
penises
stick
in
men,
ink
where the
and
stick
just,
men.
like,
Oh,
draw lockers.
sick.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we made comic
that's
books.
how I learned calligraphy.
No, guys, I'm just saying, like, if you have a son and you see his homework and there's doodles of penises all over, it's because his friends
That's
drew
part of-
penises.
That's part of
proud.
growing up.
Okay,
Boys
we-
just
yo,
do that for some reason.
There are 10
Boys
questions.
will
I
with
guess
that
girls
one.
do it too, but
There are 10 questions.
Yeah, girls do that with their penises.
yeah.
Okay, next, second question. What's your least favorite word?
Least favorite word?
Oh, I had an answer for
Oh.
this too.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marky,
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to say really quick, a good idea. I might do it with you tomorrow. There's this thing online. It's 30 questions, and once you're done reading them, you fall in love.
Excuse me? Wait, is this on BuzzFeed? What is this?
Yeah, it was on some like stupid website, and there was an article that was like, if you go on a date and you like answer all these questions, by the end of it, you'll be in love.
Oh
So
yeah, I think
That
I've
sounds
done
like
that.
clickhole, actually.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
me and
really
Marky
quick
should do
quote
it
to me.
and then
Yeah,
fall.
You guys
But
should
anyway,
absolutely do
Yeah.
that.
anyway, what's your least favorite word?
My least favorite word is probably.
I can't think of my least favorite word.
Oh, there are so many words I hate. So
Yeah,
this,
same.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know what mine is.
just
what's
Danny,
yours?
you go.
Mine is le. When
Yeah,
people
like
say
le
I
memes.
I
Oh, like
actually
the meme.
I
Yeah, that actually
legitimately
makes me
Oh,
cringe
it's
so
like when
hard.
people say like le in my room whatever like playing
Yeah.
video. When I first saw that I actually wanted to break my hand. Like I
It's
wanted
so
to just
stupid,
punch
yeah.
something and break
Wow.
my
It's
knuckles.
just really
It
bad.
enraged me
It's
because
a
it was like
terrible word.
it's not funny.
Yeah.
If you use le, fuck you.
Actually,
Yeah.
I know what my least favorite word
Everybody
Even
on
if
this
you, like, use
podcast
it, like,
hates you.
legitimately.
If you're one of our fans and you use Lua,
We hate
we're
you.
gonna track you down.
If you're
We're
one of
gonna
the
get
6 fans and you use load, we are now
Yeah.
accepting only 5.
Yeah, we're gonna find
Actually-
you and shout at you.
I hate the word fail. I hate
Oh,
any
epic
kind of
fail.
use
Oh,
of fail.
good
in,
job.
like,
We're just
modern
hating on
day.
good
memes.
answer.
That's
That's
good.
a
I hate
really
that.
good
Yeah,
answer.
Fail
I
is
too.
I get.
Your least-
I have a
your least
physical
favorite
relationship
word's
with
No,
meme.
I love the word meme.
Meme.
I love meme.
Meme I like actually.
Meme.
I
Okay,
love
what's your
memes.
least favorite word?
I don't know. I want to say low too, but like I have a bunch of other ones, but like they're not coming to mind right now. Which
Fail
is a shame.
because all that stuff like fail epic, any kind
Yeah.
of thing like
I-
that. Obviously, this has been covered.
My son's a failure. That's what my parents say to me. I hate
My
that.
son's an epic
My son's a fail
My
though.
son's
That's
an epic
even worse.
fail.
That's like awful. I hate that fail.
I don't know, man. I should have prepared answers for this because I had so many answers like in the back of my mind for always.
Oh.
Yeah, you should have let us study.
Well,
Okay, next question.
All right.
I wanna
We'll
just-
just
I
zoom
just,
through
uh,
these.
prepare.
Number 3, what turns you on, inspires you, or excites you? Just some, I don't know, characteristics.
Girls, cute
girls,
cute girls,
Eating girls,
eating girls.
cooking
Girls.
flesh turns me on. I like bones,
Chocolate turns me
bone
on.
marrow.
Bone marrow
But
is
not
my
chocolate
favorite.
marrow,
Uh,
Cracking
I like-
those bones open.
Okay, go. No, I'll answer. My answer is probably just like genuinely, I'm not even being ironic with this, like offensiveness. Like people who are willing, if there's a person I see who's just completely willing to say
Dan,
something
this
that's
is like Dan
offensive,
being edgy.
I
cast.
want to be
Yeah.
their friend.
Edgecast.
No, like
being
legitimately,
edgecast.
not being offensive for the sake of being offensive, but just
ReinCast,
saying things that
edgecast.
if you're saying something that's taboo, I like that, and I get interested, and I'm like, okay, cool, I love that you're willing to do that.
For me, it's
I
when
already said that.
it's stuff
I
like
already
when
gave
there's
my
kind
answer.
of
What was yours?
when there's like interest
nice.
being shown, but it's also like I have to go kind of like work for something,
Okay,
like
I
it's
see.
like it's not all
It's a
provided.
give and take.
Yeah.
Marky.
Plus minus.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about this on the
Plus, minus,
cast.
minus.
Marky, when
Yeah.
you're looking in the mirror,
Uh-huh.
right? You're looking in the mirror,
Looking in the mirror.
and
See
you
a handsome boy.
and you see your face,
Handsome face, yeah, handsome boy.
and you look at your
That's
face,
the usual.
right?
Yeah.
This is what we were talking about the observatory.
Oh,
you
yeah,
see your
yeah,
face,
that's
and you look at a part of it, and what happens?
I think when you look at your face, like when you look at yourself and you see how you are, I think you change.
You change your face.
I think you change your face when you look at it because I think that basically like because obviously your facial muscles are like kind of like positioned in a certain way,
Yeah.
right? And you kind of like often
Yeah.
I find that when I look in a mirror, I actually change. Like I
Yeah.
kind of like will like raise my eyebrows
No, I
or
do-
something.
Yeah,
I used to do that.
genuinely
I
I'll
raise
do
my
that
pose.
as
eyebrows.
I'll pose my
Yeah.
face or something.
And then I noticed that when I like I noticed because I remember like thinking about this once, and then I had looked in a mirror and unconsciously I felt my eyebrows raising up.
Yeah.
So I think that when you look at yourself a lot, you kind of start changing the way you look.
So do you
Yeah,
think by like
yeah.
looking at photographs and
wait,
like
hold on.
Yeah.
But like on the topic of like change in the mirror, like in my psychology class we talked about like how people looking in mirrors are more likely to introspect and like reflect on their morals and stuff.
Yeah.
So like if say some guy is like gonna steal something from a store, if he looks in a mirror, he'll be less likely to steal from the store
Wow.
because he'll be like prompted to think about
So,
his morals and his ethic.
Confirmed
values
if
and
you
stuff.
make your shop made of mirrors.
Yeah.
no
Literally,
one's
that's
stealing
what.
from
that's
you.
the only reason they have those like mirror things in the corner.
just
like, get
people to.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it
On the
actually
bus too. I remember once I was on the bus and I was like, I'm gonna go to the front of the bus and I'm gonna kill the bus driver. And I looked
Yeah,
up.
no, I do
and I
that
looked
all
up-
the time.
and I looked up
but then
and
I
there was
see
a
the mirror. Then I see the mirror, and it's like, okay,
and I was like,
get
there's
off
no
now.
way I can't kill the bus driver.
I have to get
He'll
off the
see
bus
me.
now.
Every mirror is an anti-crime mirror.
That's what they say that at customer service, if you put a mirror behind so the person sees themselves, it's like the amount of shouting they do at
'Cause
the,
it-
cus-
yeah.
at the employees
'cause
goes
they,
down
like, see
dramatically.
themselves.
Wow.
Because imagine you're just
They'll,
shouting.
like,
see themselves
shouting.
looking
Like
like
imagine,
like, oh, that's too
imagine
bad.
you're
Yeah.
raising your
Yeah.
hand to backhand
But
slap,
then you see in a mirror,
And you see in
it's
a mirror.
Like, what have I become? And then you smack yourself.
and you smack yourself.
Yeah.
That's the only way to
Well, what
atone
was
for your
what
sin.
was that gonna?
Oh yeah,
branch
yeah.
off
So
on?
Marky, like we believe that you can become more aesthetic through looking at photographs of yourself.
Uh-huh.
And-
And then you can see your weaknesses.
Yeah, you see your
Yeah,
weaknesses.
actually, I do that.
You
I
become more
legitimately do that.
Yeah, I was recently thinking about, and I've noticed just a huge flaw in myself because every time I see a guy look in the mirror in a bathroom or in the change room at the gym or something, and just like do the face, the
Yeah,
sexy
I
like
hate the
eyebrows
face,
up
yeah,
and just
yeah.
like, and then walk
That's
away.
so gay.
I
I've tried to
immediately go,
suppress that
what a
face.
fucking asshole! I just call him a
Yeah.
fat.
I
in my
love
head
that.
straight
I
away.
love that.
But then I noticed recently, I literally do that every time. Every
Everyone
time I
does it.
finish at the bathroom.
Well, like
I wash my
I
hands,
only do that
do
to
the
like
face,
check
and
that
then
there's
leave.
like nothing on my face.
No,
and,
I
like,
do like
my
a
hair's
nice
not,
face,
like,
though.
That's a classic
messy.
like
I always
selfie
boost
face
my
syndrome. Though. You know how like
confidence.
some girls have like the selfie face. That
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
It used to be the duck face. That was big.
Yeah.
Well, I think people realize that duck
Well,
face
now
is
they also
stupid, so
kind of
they
like
stop.
raise their eyebrows.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
often do they do an angle or something?
Yeah,
like that?
exactly.
Like
I literally
it's
do that. I
because
just see
as
the
soon
mirror
as
and I'm
you
just
see
like-
your face. You like start like adjusting it to make it what your vision of it should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's
But really,
so
you
funny
need to
though.
let go sometimes. I think.
I'm literally, well, you absolutely do. And I noticed
yeah.
also the thing I noticed, very interesting one, whenever I'm high, when I go to the bathroom, I look in the mirror for a sec every time, and I just look at myself to see if I look high in any way, because I'm always curious. And I always notice that I'm never doing the attractive face ever. I look straight in the mirror and I just judge my face. I just have I just have a completely
Your face
honest
is
face.
melting
My
off.
eyebrows aren't held up in that fucking model
I hate
pose.
the
They're
eyebrow
just down,
pose, actually.
and I'm
The
just looking at my
eyebrow pose
eyes.
is
It's
really
so much
lame.
more genuine.
I never
and
raise
nice.
my eyebrows. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's
I,
well,
don't- I,
my eyebrows
realized,
are
I
down.
realized that I started realizing that like last year, and then I just made an effort to stop it.
You're very aesthetic.
Yeah,
man,
see, I'm
Mikey.
specifically making an effort
Yeah.
now. I'm in that process. You're ahead of me. You're like 15
future
year old.
Dan.
You're 15-year-old Dan. I thought I was 12
You're
for a sec. I
14-year-old
legitimately
Dan.
thought I was 12. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
turning 20 soon, and I'm
I meant to
not-
say you're like
I think
25-year-old.
Oh,
Dan,
man.
but I said 15. Okay.
One time I was at Chapters with Matthew, my little brother. He was 3 and I was 16, and I'm sitting there in a big teacup with him.
Oh,
There's
the
a big
Big old
teacup.
teacup,
alright.
nice.
And
if
I
I was doing that when I was 16, I'd feel really insecure. But now
I
I'd be
didn't
like,
feel
I'd
insecure
love
at all.
that.
No,
do
I
that
didn't
now
feel.
all the
That's
time.
not the moral.
I know.
I didn't feel insecure at all. Fucking love that teacup.
Yeah.
And I'm
I know.
sitting there, and this lady comes up to me and she says hello, and I say,
Hello, lady.
hello. How's it going? She says, is he yours? I go, and she says, is that little boy your son? And I said, what? No, he's my brother. And she went, oh, well, you just look like such a good dad. And she just walked away. And I was like, I'm 16. What the heck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're
You
crazy.
look very mature for 16.
No, I look like an
Apparently,
idiot. I
to
look
this
like a little
woman you
pubescent,
Yeah.
idiot.
Little kid, little boy.
That's a funny story.
She was probably like a single mom trying to hit on you.
I
Yeah,
literally
probably.
could never look like
Oh,
an
listen,
I still
I need
don't
a
and
man
never
to take
will,
care of
probably.
his child and my child.
If you're a single mom and you're listening to this cast, we're all down. We're all
Yes,
down.
please.
Not me.
Not Dan, but
I'm not down.
Dan is a
plenty of-
girlfriend.
there's plenty of milk boy to go
I
around.
have a GIF.
A GIF?
what is
Isn't
it?
that the short form for girlfriend?
What is it of?
A GF.
GF.
No, it's a GIF.
No, GIF.
It's
No,
a
it's
GIF.
GIF.
GIF is an animated
GIF.
It's obviously
I'm
GIF.
joking.
Yo.
Yo,
This episode brought to you by GIFs. Make sure you
so
can
we
download
were
them
on
if you
what?
want.
Question 3?
Yeah, question 3.
What inspires you or excites you? My answer was offensive.
Okay, so Dan on this
Basically,
cast,
if you have a
Dan on this
Fedora
cast
and you
thinks,
tip it,
wait,
that's my number
This is the
one.
Fedora
Dan,
cast.
okay,
It's the fire
okay.
and
So,
excites
so
me.
Dan, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to make our 3 fans like you, because on this cast,
Oh, everybody.
I love you. I love Dan, but
Legitimately, I'm an
no, I love
offensive
Dan.
the best.
But on this cast, Dan has said that he doesn't think homeless people should get money. That he thinks that the word fag is okay. That he calls mental people retards.
And I think that
he thinks it's
retards
okay.
is
Made fun
if they're not aware.
And-
No, hey, Nick.
As long as they keep it to themselves.
And-
I swear, girls are gonna hear that and just be like, "Wow, Nick's right. Down with Dan and stuff."
So Dan,
you know what? You make a lot of good points. Yeah.
Dan is right.
It makes sense. I
Dan's
could get
right.
behind that.
This is how
So
Hitler
Dan,
started.
what
Somebody
what
started
is like?
listening to him.
I wanted to say you can save yourself now from all the cute girls that don't listen to this.
Okay.
I hate cute girls. Just kidding.
What?
Just kidding. I love them.
What's
Nick
the
loves
what's the
them.
nicest thing you've ever done for someone?
Please.
What's the nicest thing you've ever done in your whole life?
shit.
What do you think back? And this question's open.
Oh,
do you ever
okay,
think
what-
back?
I donated $10 to a retarded
have
guy
an
so he
answer
could
for
buy
this.
Christmas presents for his friend.
Nice.
The fact that you say retarded person just negates the whole.
Why?
No, it doesn't.
Why is-
It doesn't
why
at
does
all.
you
Because
That
that's
did
that's
something
helpful to
really
the
nice.
story, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like saying like mentally challenged is, I think that
Even
doesn't
more
sound
offensive.
normal.
I've been the most
Yeah.
offensive this whole time because it's not. They're not mentally challenged.
Yeah,
They're just as good as us. They're just different.
They operate differently. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
They're just as strong
they don't
as
operate
us.
differently. They literally. I
Well,
guess
live-
they literally
well,
do.
It
Less
depends. No, some,
Well, okay, because
it
we're
depends
talking
on what they have.
we're
Like,
talking about people.
autistic spectrum. It is like different operations.
We're talking about people.
Okay, yeah,
we're
that's a
talking
good
about people
point.
who like literally, like they literally wouldn't even listen to this cast. Like they're like, no. I'm not trying to be like offensive.
Yeah, no, I know what you
I'm
mean,
just
but-
literally saying like they're people who are special needs. Like it's like we're not offending them because they'll never hear this and because they literally just live their lives like
Well, also
being
Yeah.
taken care of.
I
And
don't
like
know.
we're not talking
I'm
about
also
people
not,
who have like
intending to offend them.
yeah, we're not.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we're not talking about people with like Asperger's or like schizophrenia or people who like still live normal lives. Like I don't
Some
even
of
know
those
what
can be
my point.
advantages also, like Asperger's.
Well, yeah, you get really invested in one
Yeah,
topic.
yeah.
Oh, I
and you
mean,
get really,
there are
really good
people.
at something. Yeah.
There are people with autism who play like
Well,
piano
also, yeah, like savants
concerts
and
that are
stuff,
like
yeah, yeah, of
amazing.
Savants are
Yeah,
I'm
savant.
very interested.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things.
I
like
think
that.
Greg
Anyway,
just
Dan,
savant.
what's the nicest thing you've ever done?
Nicest thing I can't. I have a weird answer to that because I can't say.
No, what's the thing-
who or what exactly it was, but basically I've done
Use code names.
some very nice things for people, like certain people.
That's really good.
That's all I can say.
This was your
Like-
one chance.
got
out.
really
We need to
far.
make sure
Legitimately,
that,
I've like seriously
Sounds legit.
sacrificed for Just certain couple people, like a lot. Like
I think we've all sacrificed.
like
that
I've been
bit.
very
haven't
very sad
sacrificed anything.
personally to help
Oh no, I
certain people
sacrifice
out and make them much happier. That's all. I don't know
sacrifice
how to
goats
expand
all the
on
time.
that. I legitimately can't even come near expanding that because
So for the
anybody
goats.
who knows would be able to guess who.
Anyone
Yeah,
who knows
it's a
Dan
little
knows that
hard.
he. Like, I love Dan.
Yeah, Dan's
No.
my favorite.
Provides for
Everybody
his family.
dislikes me. I'm like infamous from high school. Legitimately, because I say shit like you can bully retards behind their backs, it's okay. Everybody hates me. So from high school,
really-
I'm like infamous for being just a dick.
I don't
but,
know.
Like, I don't care.
I
Well,
really
yeah.
wonder what like people would think of this cast because I hope people like stick through it up until now because there's kind of been like a whole arc to this
Yeah.
one. It hasn't been as
Pretty-
like
we've
This one has a story.
I
This one
can
has a
tell
story.
something that I've done that's been nice.
Yeah,
I was-
go for it.
There was so I went to a Neutral Milk Hotel concert with Kevin. Our friend Kevin came to Montreal, and he said he came with another friend of ours, Akiva, and they said, "Do you want to come to this concert with us?" And I didn't really know Neutral Milk Hotel, and like I heard of them, but I
Okay.
didn't really think much
Okay.
about it. But I just kind of went.
I
was
think
like,
I
okay.
remember you hearing about you going to this.
Yeah.
conference.
So I went, and then we stuck around at the end, and I got the ticket signed by a few of the members.
Oh, nice.
And then I went back to I was staying in residence at the time, and there was a girl that, call her, Katrovshkinta.
Okay.
Call her Katerina. Call her Kat.
Uh-huh.
And she had a social phobia where she couldn't go to like concerts or anything, but she really liked the band Neutral Milk
nice.
Hotel. So I gave the ticket to her.
Wow.
That was signed.
That's awesome.
That's a
really
nice
good
thing
of a
to
whim.
do.
That's
Yeah.
such a, that's
That's a
a
nice thing
classic.
to do.
Both you and Nick had like classic nice things to do. I just have like the anonymous nice thing. I can't really.
It's
Well,
okay,
I
man.
have done.
We
I
know
feel
you're
like
a nice guy.
I have
No.
done other nice things, but I don't remember them.
Yeah, see that's the thing. I also forgot a lot. I mean, that's the
Like,
immediate
'cause,
one I think
like,
of is just
only
what I
remember
actually
the
have
one,
put my
like the
whole-
one I did just because like it happened like
Yeah,
this
that's
Christmas.
and that's an easy one to remember.
People
It's a
people are
classic.
just mean to me, man. People are mean to me.
Yeah, Yanni gets bullied all the
I'm
time.
walking down the
'Cause he's
hallway.
retarded and
I'm,
he gets bullied
I'm
behind
walking
his
down the
back.
hallway and there's this big buff guy and this girl's flirting with me because she thinks I'm cute
Big
and
buff
and he pushes me down the stairs
Yeah, man. That's
And then he
probably
kicks
were-
you in the head.
and he
a couple
kicks me in the
times.
head and he tells the girl,
And then he just takes
And he
the
tells
girl
the girl,
right away and
"Why are
just,
you
like,
with-"
makes out
He
with her
tells the
right
girl,
in front of you over your corpse.
"Why are you with that idiot? You should be with me." And then he kisses her right in front of me and I
Me
go,
better.
"No,
Me better than him.
Me so strong, me break Yanni's bones."
Have we finished number 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
on.
number 4. This one's
Like a million
interesting.
years ago.
What turns you off?
Turns me
And this
off.
doesn't mean sexually. It just means like what
Yeah.
you find unappealing. My immediate answer is like an easy one because everybody would say yes, they hate this, but like it's very subtle and specific for me. But like a certain kind of egotism immediately puts me off. I hate
agree.
girls who have secrets and are like passionate about keeping them secrets and just be like, no, you can't know that. That fucking annoys me.
Does
Like,
it have to
you,
be
No,
girls?
you're not important. No, specifically though, I know so many girls who do this. Like specifically have secrets and they don't. They mention that they have the secrets, but are like specifically opposed to ever letting people know because they think they're important or something. Like no one gives a shit. Like it's just a fact. You like this guy, okay? No one's
Yeah,
gonna
it's like,
care.
what
No
are
one
we into?
cares.
Like, what are we into?
It's
You
just
know what?
annoying that people
That's a
think
good
they're-
point.
that's
No
good
one
bullshit.
cares about your like little things.
Yeah, but
Like,
everybody's
like,
like,
people,
oh
like,
no,
you, like,
my
in your
dad was
mind,
like
you,
yelling
like,
at me
think
when I
you
was a
care.
kid. Like, okay, whatever.
Like
I could literally
Oh,
reveal
yeah.
absolutely my biggest secrets right now. I just am not doing it because of the people who would get like implicated. But I don't care if anybody knows. I've told all my friends, told like strangers about my biggest secrets because
Just
they're
go
not
up to
gonna
people.
go up to my
Dan.
parents
Dan
or
goes up
whatever
to
and,
people
like,
at the
tell
bus stop and he's like, "Hey, you want to hear my biggest secret?
No.
I like to kiss my dad." And then they're like, "What the hell?" And he runs away.
them. Yanni, you didn't have to like quote me on that one. Jesus Christ, man.
that was an excerpt from Dan's diary.
All right, what
Hey.
turns you off, Nick?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same as Dan. Just like gross
Egotism.
You
egotism.
can't copy me.
I think I'm the
Gross
greatest.
egotism and like
See, like I hate Yanni specifically because he
like
just
secretivity.
all he does is
Yanni
think
turns
he's
me
cool.
Yanni turns me
No.
on.
Anybody who's like
Yanni turns me on.
Okay, Marky's turn.
I don't like it.
Memes.
I don't know. This is pretty stupid, but I don't like it when girls kind of like approach me.
I love
Really?
that.
What?
versus-
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
what it is.
actually
I know
love
it's
that.
stupid. It's stupid, but
Girls would love you for
Are
that
you just
because
shy?
they hate approaching guys.
no, I like approaching girls. I just for some
You're
reason
weird.
when it like becomes instantly available to me, I
This
You know what? I
podcast
think
brought
I
to you by
kinda know
Marky
what
being
you
a
mean,
freak.
Because I've been approached by a lot of specific kinds of girls. Like it's always one type
Yeah.
of
You're just a
girl.
freak.
And they're
Yeah.
just kind of
Freako.
it's
Marky.
like they assume that they're cool and they're like giving me a chance or something and it kind
Yeah.
of bugs me. I think
Really?
that's
I
what-
don't
that's
see it
what
like that at
I-
all.
Weird
It's not even
underlying
like, I
conversation.
don't
I
even
just
know
see it
what
like-
is,
No,
but
it's
I
like they
prefer-
see me and they're like,
they're,
he's
like,
interesting.
I prefer
and then they talk to
approaching
me, but
girls
they're
myself.
clearly giving this a fling. They don't
Yeah.
actually or have any serious
and it's
interest in me.
stupid. Like there's no like sense to it, but
What were you gonna say, Nick?
I see it differently. I don't see it like they're like giving me a chance. If anyone, I'm the one. If anyone's giving anyone a chance, I'm the one giving them a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're putting it on the line by coming up to me. I'm not losing. Like I'm losing even less than normal
if you're a girl. If you're a girl,
if you're a girl, you should approach me.
Oh my god, that probably just clipped so much.
I hope so.
Oh my god, I can smell that, Dan. Okay,
Yeah,
so listen, I'm gonna talk backwards.
All right, cool.
Backwards on your record players, it says Yanni loves Jesus.
Danny
God
loves
loves you, do you
Jesus
know?
said. Did you
Wait,
know
did I
God
finish
is
my
madly
thought?
in love with you?
No.
No, if
which
any like.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't.
I lost it.
Yeah, it
Thanks.
was just like.
No, Nick was just saying that if a girl comes up to him,
Oh, yeah.
he's the one giving them a chance.
Yeah, well, like I disagree when you say like.
No, because
It's like, oh, I'm giving you a chance. I just see it like they're just like very attracted enough to me to like break social norms,
Yeah.
which turns me on more.
that's very. I can.
'Cause I'm
I don't
a
know,
shy
if I
guy.
viewed it like that, then I would find it very.
So
find it better.
it's like it works better for me too.
Yeah.
Okay, Yanni, turn off,
Um.
and then we'll go to question 5. We have 10 questions, guys. We got
No, we're not doing all 10
we
questions. This
definitely
is
don't
done.
have time for
No
all
more
of
so
them.
questions.
interesting.
No
Oh,
more
the next
questions.
two are
Questions are
so
stupid
quick.
and
No,
for dumb
no more
losers.
questions.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys after.
Okay.
But what turns me off, what really turns me off, what really rustles my jimmies, is
Grinds
Really
my
hustles your
gears.
bones.
the new hot fresh memes, man. Those
love-
turn me off.
I love memes.
No,
love
I'm just
memes.
kidding.
Actually, that
Us,
stressed
me hating memes has
man.
turned into a meme with
Yo, I
myself.
so-
Yeah, same.
Okay, we'll save them for the next
Yeah, I'll
cast.
do it for the next cast.
Memes
Um,
are a meme.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. They are. It's kind of funny though, cause just like I want to say to the audience, to
Viewers at home.
Aaron,
Sitting there lying on your bed, like listening to your little music, like little podcast.
at the beginning, before we did the cast, I was like, listen, guys, we all have a tendency to say one thing a lot over and over. Like, don't do that. And we've said the word retard like 60 times. We literally did. We did literally what I said not to do.
Can you specifically call this the
Dan's
retard?
fault.
cast?
No.
It's not.
I'm not doing that.
Absolutely.
I mean, people are gonna listen to this and they're gonna crucify you. People are gonna come to your house and
The
kill you,
comfy
Dan.
retard cast,
You
do it.
you gave your full name too.
I don't
They know
care.
you.
I literally don't care. If you're gonna like kill me, I'll be a martyr. Jesus.
Jesus. To be a martyr for like anti-retard
Yeah.
groups. It's like
A
the
martyr.
worst group to be a martyr
Like
for.
a politically incorrect martyr.
Okay, so what turns me off is when President Barack Obama goes on TV and he says to his country, he
I love
says,
you.
I love you all.
God is madly in love with you. And I
Do
say,
you know
and I
this?
look at my TV and I say,
I don't know.
Obama, God is madly in love with me. And from then on, I cannot touch
And then you
myself.
kiss the TV
I'm turned
with
off.
Obama's face close up on
I'm
it.
turned off.
Do you think that there's been a lot of presidents who have been secretly atheists, but they didn't want to say? Because
I don't think there have been a
I-
lot.
Does a president have to be
would
Christian?
Discount that.
It doesn't have to,
'Cause,
but
like,
you get a lot
America-
of support if you
America's very
I'm
Christian.
sure Obama is.
Because Obama
one.
said that he was raised in without religion, but then he became religious later.
Yeah, I
So
think he's
it's pretty
atheist.
feasible that he could just not be religious.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he just-
confident
like,
he's an
I-
atheist.
he probably just said that to get the
legitimately, I
Christian
believe
vote.
Yeah.
Which
And
makes
like
sense.
that's Christian.
And then-
like America's very Christian.
What other like rational like left thinking presidents have there been who were probably from the conservative party? Weirdly.
I don't know. Like Clinton, I feel like it would be like a total atheist. Bill Clinton.
Okay. Alright.
Like I feel
Clinton
like
was a
he's,
nihilist.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
Okay, so
Clinton only cares about one thing, and that's
Pussy.
Monica Lewinsky.
so it's been about an hour.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
well listen,
Are we gonna wrap
I
it up
don't
then?
I don't want to keep being in charge of stuff, but I have another thing I wanted to do.
Oh no! Again? What is
Wait,
it?
what
What
is
is
it? We
it?
got
Okay,
time.
I have this segment idea because I've been.
You
thinking
should have told
of-
me these before the
No,
podcast.
no, I
Say
wanted
it,
to
say
bring
it,
this
say
up
it,
random.
say
I've been thinking of very grand questions very randomly, and I've been writing them down. And I want to ask you guys just really grand scale questions.
Ask us one question.
And I want to call this
question.
Dano. Oh, I was gonna call it Dano's like 3 questions or something.
That'd be
No,
good
no,
to
you
hear.
get do
Fine,
one
I'll
each
do one
podcast.
question.
You
Yeah,
get one
fine.
grand
I was
question.
gonna do
a podcast.
3 each
Yeah, I think that's
podcast,
fair.
but like
Do
okay,
one each podcast.
Okay,
Because we still have to do the shoutouts and the
Yes.
dream segment.
Okay, that's completely fair. Oh, I haven't had any dreams lately. That's
Well, someone else can do.
I have a tentative jingle though. I made it this morning in class. Okay,
You know, I could just edit it in.
here goes. No, shh.
This is better.
this
This
is
is
the
raw.
jingle.
Raw power.
I've got some questions for ya.
Okay, what's your question? What's your question?
Okay. Okay, I have I have like 7 questions, but I'll ask one. Here goes. All right. Let's see. Which one should I ask?
This is actually the most fucked podcast by far that we've done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it to be this, like, it's so all over the
We
place.
should just
Oh
cut.
man, I have so
I'm gonna
many
cut everything
questions.
out.
Yeah.
I have so many
Well, we
questions.
have like this.
No, this is great. I'm gonna put
Yo,
this all
my
online.
questions
Because
gonna be.
if
Never
anything,
mind.
this podcast is just gonna like is gonna make
It's gonna be
people
divisive.
is gonna people are gonna say something
Yeah.
about if you have any opinion about this podcast, you comment on
You
SoundCloud.
should probably not judge the whole podcast series based on this episode because I'm not gonna be in all of them.
No. I mean, it's fine.
I'm not gonna.
It's
like,
fine.
be-
This
be
podcast.
saying like.
Make sure to share your
trash
thoughts.
No. I don't.
Correct shit.
I'm glad Dan said that stuff because
You can blog about
it
it.
gave
if
us
you
a
want.
New lease on life.
aurora.
Yeah. Okay,
good
well
song.
here's what I'm gonna ask. Oh man. Okay, fine. I'll ask this one. This is a very typical one, but I want to know what your answers would be.
Yeah.
If the world were to end in like a month, or if you found out you were gonna die in like, let's say 3 months,
I've actually been.
and you were
thinking
sure about this,
lately.
what exactly would you do over the next 3 months, legitimately?
I don't know. I'd want to spend as much time with you guys and my
Aw.
friends as I could.
That's very
That's very
heartwarming, Lon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Except Nick's lying.
No,
I
not at
already
all.
confirmed he's a sociopath.
I'm
Nick would
genuinely
just do a
not.
bunch
This
of
is a
coke.
long
I
story.
I
would
just
eat
do like
cigarette.
heroin every day, but with you guys.
No, generally, first thing I do is DMT.
First
And
thing,
then
like,
for the next 25
in the
days, I
doctor's
ponder my
office.
DMT trip and hang out with friends as much as possible. And obviously, I'd watch movies as much as possible. And here's another huge one I've already thought of, like, very recently, but, like, one of the main ones. I'd go straight to all my favorite, like, musicians and comedians, like Tim and Eric and Death Grips.
You
and
just go
Sugar,
right up to them.
And I'd,
Just,
like,
like,
email them.
fly
No,
Like,
I'd go right up
every-
to
all
them.
their
I'd go
guys.
right up to
I'm
them.
dying.
and I'd say,
Kiss
I'm
me,
gonna die.
bitch.
I'm gonna die. And if you don't give me a hug,
No, I wouldn't even say that. I just would really try to at least come in contact with one of those, like, people
Yeah.
that I love. Because I really want to talk to them before I die. Like,
that makes a lot of
that'd be
sense.
sick.
That's cool.
All right, Marky, what would you do if you were gonna die tomorrow?
If I was good tomorrow,
I mean, in 3 months.
3 months.
tomorrow I'd do something different. But if I was gonna die in 3 months, I think I would like to. I'd like to just like go and like probably like just do a lot of drugs and like go to like Southeast Asia and like
Oh,
just,
nice.
like,
Just
go,
do
like,
everything.
just completely like go like no like cell phone.
Because
or
that is
anything,
not.
like, no
Because that
holds
is
barred,
not.
like, yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's
Balls
not
to
an
the wall,
issue.
per
Yeah,
se.
exactly. You
Yeah.
take that out of the equation, so you can pretty much just go and like start like wrestling people if you want, you know, like on the streets.
Would
or,
you?
like,
Would you grab me and wrestle me?
Would you kill someone?
I don't think I would kill. Like it really depends.
I don't
It'd
know.
be
Kill
hard to tell
someone.
until I
I
met
might
them,
kill
you
it
know?
never mind.
I think I'd lose a lot of inhibitions, and I would, because once you know that you're dying, it's kind of like your whole
You-
life plans out the window, right?
Yeah,
you might as well
exactly.
Just go
You
start,
can
like,
just-
doing something
You
else.
become nihilistic.
No, yeah, that's exactly the thing.
All right, so hear me out here. Because this one's gonna take a little bit of explanation.
Okay.
This is what I would do if I was gonna die in 3 months.
Do you have it all planned out?
I have it all planned out. So, let me just preface this by saying that a lot of life is lived in fear of consequences, right?
Yeah.
So if you kiss a girl and she slaps you in the face,
That's a
then
consequence.
you seem like a creep, and everyone's gonna think for for months,
The next
for
3 months.
years even, you're
Yeah.
gonna seem like a creep. And depending on how many people she tells, depending on how many people saw, you're a creep.
Yeah.
If you go and you hit someone with a car for the rest of your life, you have to live with killing that person. If
Yeah.
you, that's enough, like if you tell your mom to shut up, then your mom hates you forever. You know
I
what
tell
I'm
my
saying?
mom to shut up all the time.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying
Nick,
your
that's kinda
mom's
weird.
very strict. Your mom's very strict, and she's beating you, and you say,
smack
"Mom,
her.
Mom,
I've had
no,
enough."
Mom, go away.
you know that's a consequence. So,
Mom, I'm putting you in a home.
so that's my
You
preface.
live without
So that's my preface.
consequences.
So think about it. You're standing on the edge of a cliff, and you look down, and you say, "How cool would it be to jump off this cliff?" And you don't do it
yeah.
because you'd break your legs. You'd be in tons of pain.
So you
You're
would
afraid
do
of the
that?
pain.
Is that what you're
No.
saying? You do things that
I'm
would
giving.
hurt
I'm
yourself?
prefacing what I would do.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, what you do is you live with fear of consequences. And if you had no inhibitions, no consequences, no mortality, you would do whatever you want.
Well, of
you would do
course.
anything. You
Yeah.
would jump off cliffs. You would whatever. Because
Well,
you
the
can't-
consequences consequences would worsen the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you don't have a rest
Yeah.
of your life.
like if
obviously,
you
they
if
don't
it's
matter.
if you know that you could like masturbate like 16 times in one day and it would do nothing to you, then you would
This
one
kind
time
of
just
connects
to
to
try
one
it.
of my other.
Well, it
But
does.
anyway,
That's
anyway,
fine, though.
so
I
so
do
let's-
that anyway.
so- no, but listen, so there's one big consequence that everyone knows, and it's shitting your pants. If you shit your pants, it's gonna stink.
Everyone
Dan knows what that
around you is gonna
So
think
here's
I
what I
absolutely
so here's what
know
I
that
do. So here's what I would do if I had 3 months left to live.
shit your pants.
No,
every day.
I wouldn't shit my pants.
I'd shit Yanni's
I would
pants.
eat a bunch of pickles. I would eat a bunch of pickles, a bunch of mayonnaise, bunch of beans, jalapeno peppers. I would eat chipotle sauce. I would eat everything.
Interesting.
Anything,
Like fish oil,
anything that gives you
soy
gas. I would eat
sauce.
fish oil. I'd
You'd
eat
be just really
beans.
uncomfortable for.
I'd have a huge full belly.
Fast food,
And I'd go and
bunch of JV
I'd go
sauce.
find someone I really don't
Wendy's.
like. Someone would be sleeping. I really don't like them.
Unleash the beast.
No. Listen.
This is
I would
episode brought
walk
to you
into
by,
their house. I break in their house.
Monster.
I go upstairs to their room, and I've been building this up for like 3 days. I haven't shat. I haven't
Only 3
farted.
days?
I haven't burped.
Do it for
And I
like
would
a
be
week.
super gassy. And I
Jesus
drink. I would
Christ.
drink an extra large
You'd be
Pepsi.
uncomfortable for one of your final weeks.
And I would
but
no.
it'd be worth it.
Listen. So I would go squat. This isn't worth the build up. I would go
Yes, it is.
squat over my worst enemy's
No,
face,
no.
and I would let out the world's
torrent?
most
Who's your worst enemy? That's the
rip
question.
assing fart ever. I
Only
would
a
fart
fart?
so loud. No, like I'm telling you,
This
this
is
fart,
softcore.
this fart would literally smell so bad that it would kill people.
Yeah, but then they just run out of the room. Like it's
No, they'd wake up.
No,
No,
you're-
no, but
that's
listen,
why
this is
you
the
sit
final.
on
This
shit.
is the
That's
last
why you
part.
sit on
This is
that.
the last
Your
part.
shit.
This is the
Yeah,
last
you
part.
made
This is the last part.
Okay.
So I let out this huge fart, and they wake up, and their head shoots up into my butthole,
Oh.
and their nose goes in my butthole, and then
Oh.
I take a shit, and I blow them back against the pillow.
Who do you hate
You
so
blast
much?
their head off.
Like,
I
I,
would
hate
do
a
this-
lot of
and you-
people.
you
I
know
would
what?
not do that.
Do you
to
know who I would
anyone.
do this to?
I would do that. No, maybe Bill O'Reilly.
I would
Like,
do this-
might do that to him.
Hey, Bill!
You know who I do this to, Dan?
Oh.
I would do it to you. I would do it to Danilo.
I would
That's
do it to
fair.
Dan too.
I would
You
unleash
heard it
this
here
torrent.
first.
You're
Dan's
gonna
getting,
die.
yes.
If you find out you're gonna die, in
Demon
fact,
steamer.
when you know that you're gonna die in 3 months, when you're like 80, whatever you age you are, do that. I'll be there.
That's true, because you're gonna die eventually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
You'll
Do
so
you
probably
guys
figure
know
out
that
about it.
everybody dies?
No, what?
Is that true though?
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
I haven't died yet.
It's
Wait,
like
I don't
around
die.
90 that
I can't
I
die.
believe. Everybody dies.
That's a really fun.
It's around
fact.
95% of people.
so I was really
die.
inspired by your little intro that you did just then. So I'm gonna record one and do it.
Wait, I have to do. Wait, the segment ended. I have to play it again.
Okay.
I have to because it
Wait.
was so funny. I need to play it again. That was the best thing I've ever heard. Okay, volume up. Volume up.
I've got some questions for ya.
I love how your name's just cut off at the beginning.
It's like, it's just like,
Okay, so I'm gonna do it. It's time for the dream section.
Dream section.
You just
Wait.
copied mine. You can do that.
I know. I was inspired by
You
you.
copied
Questions
the
for
tone of it.
ya.
How do I play with it?
You just press play.
It's time for the dream section.
Same intonation as.
Yeah. God damn it, Yanni.
I'm a
You have to be-
copyright.
You're a,
You have to
you're
do a
a,
death squeal.
yeah, you should have done this.
Does anyone have a dream?
I don't have one, unfortunately.
Marky, you gotta say it. You're the newcomer.
I
Tell
got-
us about your dream.
Just, you can do any dream that you
It's
have.
anything.
Any dream that I've ever had.
Yeah, let's start off since it's his first one and like Marky's like hype. Give us
I'm gonna get it nice and close.
Give a nice big
Put it in his bum.
great dream.
Taser him.
I'm trying to think. It's not a pressure.
You gotta just say a dream, man. Say what the dream with the mermaid.
The mermaid.
It already
With
sounds
the
interesting.
puddle.
I keep having dreams. Of what
Oh, the mermaid.
Come on.
Okay. So, basically, I was telling Yanni before. This was like a few years ago. I had this really like vivid, like almost lucid. Like I wasn't in well, basically, I was having this vivid dream where I was walking around and there's kind of this pool. I think, kind of like near our school, and I was walking around, and then it was one of these dreams where I realized I was lucid halfway through.
Oh, sick.
So I was like, I gotta
Those
do
are
something.
awesome. Yeah. That's
And then
the
for
best
some reason I looked over and it just so happened that there was this like kind of like mermaid girl. Like she was like, I don't know if she was a mermaid, but like she had like legs and stuff. But she was kind of like, I knew she was a mermaid.
She was a
and-
mermaid. It was just a fact.
Interesting.
And so
I
I like
yeah. Sometimes there are inherent facts like way in the back.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's just like this
So-
is true.
in this dream I was like, I just have to seize the moment. You know, it's lucid. Like I have to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So I grabbed
Did
it.
you have any problems staying in the dream? 'Cause that's
I
always my
this
problem.
lasted for all of like 15 seconds that I was
Okay,
lucid here.
Of course.
So I grabbed this girl, right? And there's a swimming pool.
She was consenting.
She was. Yeah. Well, she was my dream like
Oh, man,
concoction.
She was his perfect dream girl.
Yeah, and like she was, I don't really remember much, but I basically grab her and she was like, okay, let's go, and then, so I start, I enter, I start having sex with her, and then
Okay.
we jump. It's like I push her, and like we jump and we land on the water, But then, because we're going so fast, we basically are like skipping across the top of the water.
So every time he humps her, he's like bouncing her across the surface of the water.
And so we're like bouncing, and we're going so fast. And I remember I accelerated, and I was going so fast that like it like became a blur, and then I woke up on the sides of me. It was kind of like in Star Trek when they enter warp drive, and like the stars go like really quickly.
That's awesome.
But you were having sex with this mermaid.
Yeah.
Okay,
So she had a stargasm.
that reminds me of a lucid dream I had. Now I have something with the dream segment. Very cool.
Down a low dream section.
Dan
No, you
Lowe's
did-
got some questions for you.
Okay. In this dream, I was in a mall that was like very similar to the malls that are around in Ottawa, but like very like different slightly. And I suddenly went lucid and I was like sick. Got to take advantage. Immediately tried to find a girl I could have sex with. Started sprinting around the mall trying to find a girl, and then it got very
How fast
confusing
were you
because I found
sprinting?
some girls and there were weird.
Were you sprinting, like,
conspiracies. There were,
super fast?
cops
Neo?
watching. Yes. First of all, I was sprinting way faster than I could possibly. I was sprinting as though my legs were like 20 feet long. So each stride was just like across through an entire hall. Basically, it was very
Sick.
weird. But then out of nowhere, I just started floating upwards, and all my steps started to feel lighter and started jumping really high.
Nice.
And then suddenly I was just floating through the mall. And instead of jumping, it was like I was in a spaceship in zero gravity. I was just pushing off of walls to get through it. It was so cool. And then, but I never even ended up like having sex. But at that point, it was so cool floating through that I pretty much gave up on the idea of having sex, and I just wanted to keep continuing to float through. It was so cool. And then I woke up and I couldn't stay in the dream. I really tried to close my eyes again, like just focus in, and I almost got back in, but then I woke up.
Nick, what do you think of that?
I think it's really good.
All right,
Okay, so we got the Nick confirmation on that one.
we got Nick's. So now it's
Tested.
Nick approved.
It's disappointing that you didn't have sex though.
We should have a picture
Now
of Nick
it's-
with like a.
now it's time for our final section of the night. Our shout out. Our shout outs.
Yeah, shout outs.
Okay,
So you guys.
Shout out to the phone.
for ruining this cast.
So.
to pair.
Oh my God.
Yanni, if you don't
I'm not gonna
break
answer.
your phone.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna answer it actually with the thing. Okay, guys, ready? We're gonna prank someone. Hello.
Hi, welcome to ReinCast.
Hey. I'll call you in 15 minutes. Goodbye. That was our buddy Tim. He wants to know if he can come over. Tim's a good buddy of ours. Oh yeah, he was on the last podcast at the end. Forgot.
He was
I
on the
didn't
last
prank him.
part. Yeah, he was in the extra part at the end.
All
of
right,
the
so
first part.
shout out section. So for Marky, well, you probably know this, but we do shout outs at the end, and we, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Shout out
that's
to
Nick's shout out.
part,
Oh my God, this is the most immature freaking cast.
That was
This
a
is the most
perfect
immature
part. It was,
goddamn.
nicely loud, not.
People
like,
are gonna just listen to this and unfollow us.
That wasn't a real fart.
It was a fake fart.
I was yeah.
No, I was real. I smelled that. That was.
All right, do your shout outs.
Okay, I'd like to shout out to
Peter.
Wait, Marky. Okay, Marky. So wait, okay, guys, give Marky the respect he deserves.
Nick.
Shout out
Marky,
to
I
Yanni's parents and Yanni's dad, Mr. Buziotis, who let us do this in his basement. And sorry, I spilled a little bit of Fresca on your carpet, but we cleaned it up right away.
It's a
So,
horrible shout out.
So thanks.
No, that
and
was a
No, it was a good shout out first.
real.
So you talking about our
Fresca.
Fresca.
Respect and then just like
Marky
You're
sucks.
bullying
Marky
every-
sucks.
shout out to Fresca. It's citrus. It tastes light and delicious. There's only 0 calories in it.
Yo,
So you
but
can
seriously,
eat it,
me and-
drink it all you want.
Me and Marky have Marky has spent so much time at my house throughout the years
Yeah.
that was a good shout out at first because I mean Marky, I've driven Marky at least 300 hours in my car.
Yep.
Marky spent at least 1,000 hours in my house.
Yep.
At
Well, so you've
least.
been able to
No,
drive-
way more. Way more.
A long time.
Oh, like
So do you have like Steam stats?
Do you have Steam stats
Yes,
for how
Steam
long?
stats.
Yeah, you have-
all right.
Any-
Dan,
any-
what's your
any
shout out?
numbers?
My shout out is to Zimbabwe for bringing us such a beautiful missionary. Thank you. And yeah. you guys are real nice, and we appreciate it in our country.
Send more.
Keep them coming.
Send more.
Send more, please.
The,
We need to fix Carlton
Prime Minister
because
of Zimbabwe
there's
is
a
gonna listen
huge
to this.
atheism problem. Nobody understands. No one respects the Lord. Nick, your turn.
I already did my shout out to Peter Pitt.
That's not
Wait, what?
fair.
No,
That was
do
a
your real
juvenile
shout-out.
shout
Okay,
out.
I don't actually. Okay, shout out to Toronto Cellular for shipping me a broken phone.
That's the second.
Yeah,
shout
and
out.
then swiftly fixing it.
Yeah,
and
good.
it works now, so I'm happy about that.
Thanks, Toronto Cellular.
Thanks,
so thank you, Toronto Cellular. Also, shout out to Peter Pitt for keeping me well fed and not hungry.
causing
That was gonna be
him
my
to fuck.
shout out.
Well, you
Too bad.
No, Yanni, you gotta clutch this one.
Okay.
All right.
Sickest shout out ever.
pizza.
Shout out to. What? Go.
I'm thinking.
Shout out to Naruto.
Shout out to anime. I love anime. Princess
Shout out to Dream Theater.
Monokek.
Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Yes.
I keep saying Monokeke and Marky gets mad at me.
Yeah.
But I just watched that movie for the first time with Mark, and fantastic movie.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
But I'm not. That's not my shout out.
Yeah, Mark, what's your rating on it? On that movie?
I give it like 9.5 out of 10.
Which was the
5
one
stars.
that Mark Hamill voiced a character in? Was that
The Joker?
Howl's Moving Castle?
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, that was
Yeah,
Christian
it was.
Bale.
It was.
All right.
That was Yanni.
My shout out.
Idiot.
My shout out is to
Show it to pair.
Shout out to Silence.
shout out to Counter Strike.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
Shout
not
out to
really.
Smurfs because my
Not
younger
really.
brother is one and nobody apparently gives a shit.
I give a shit.
I
But
gave a
anyway,
shit.
no,
I'm so
no,
upset.
no, no,
Shout out
shh.
to Wilfred.
Shout out to everyone who actually listens to this episode in full. If you actually
love
made it,
you.
if you've
Shout
made
out
it,
to
if you've made it to this point,
Yes, no, legitimately,
Thank
that's
you.
a great shout out because
Yeah.
if anybody's listening at this point, like, Jesus.
yeah, I don't even think anyone has finished one of our podcasts in
I-
full.
I
Well,
really-
us we have,
Yeah.
but
How do you even.
I don't think
do
anyone because
that?
a lot of people like I've asked them like, have you heard an episode? And they say, oh, I heard like about 50 minutes
Yeah.
of it. Like they never.
I listened to the zero, like the episode 0
Yeah.
in its entirety.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think- I
never listened to
Zero,
episode
like 3
1 yet.
times.
I mean,
Episode 1 is like a hype one. Everybody seems to be like,
I'm gonna take a minute to because we've never actually really said like anything about the podcast. Like the description is
well,
like
this is
we're
just the most
guys.
esoteric thing we're literally doing.
Yeah.
I'm
Meta
doing
talk.
this
We're literally
hugely
just having, like,
for
our
my
regular
myself
talks.
and for us. 'cause
Yeah,
I
to
want us
listen to it in the future.
It's
but
just a nice thing.
like
to
I
do.
legitimately just want to like entertain people, and I was thinking like things you post on Facebook. Everyone says they don't really matter, but to me they matter. What you post online matters, and like what you do matters, because even if it's not for other people, even if it's not for fame, it's just cool that we can put so much information like online and to have such a big online like persona. And I hate it when people say like, oh, I hate when people make a lot of statuses, because no, I love it. Keep making statuses, keep listening to podcasts, keep doing random
This
stuff.
podcast
Make
especially.
vlogs, make videos
this
of your life.
podcast.
Make videos of your life because someone
It's
cares.
better than the other.
Someone cares, and I wish that I had more friends. No, but seriously, shout out to you if you've listened. Even if you've listened to the entirety of what I just said, shout out to you.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out to
No,
shout
really.
outs.
But I don't know.
No, but
You're
this-
basically shouting out to nobody. That's the
The-
issue.
no, we have a
Shouting out to
shout out
us
to Phil,
150.
shout out to Phil, shout out to Philip, shout out to Aaron. Those are all people who have listened to each
Aaron,
episode.
thank you. I don't know who.
Aaron got 2 shout outs. I'm never shouting out to you again, Aaron.
Yeah, fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, any last things you want to say
Aaron,
before
really
it's-
though, you're like basically a really nice person if you're actually listening to all these. That's like,
When it really boy, when you get
You're
down to the
essentially
nitty-gritty.
donating to homeless people.
yeah. You might as well do this. If you ever think you should do something nice,
Yeah, yeah.
just listen
Just
to
listen to
this
the
podcast.
podcast.
That's all you gotta
Listen
do.
to the podcast.
And send me
Listening to the-
donations.
listening
Send
to our
Dan
podcast
donations
is
at
like your gift
helpdan.com.
card.
Helpdan.com.
Yeah, helpdan.com.
Dot
Dot
org.
Anything else?
Dot
Anything
org.
else you guys want to say before we end it? Nick has something to say. Vic, say something.
I
Say
don't
something.
have anything to say.
Say it. Yeah, no, you do.
No.
Nick, rub your beard a bit on the.
Don't tase me.
That's all he needed to do. That's what I was waiting for.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Yanni's microphone that looks like a taser.
Nick sucks.
A lot.
Dan sucks.
No.
Mark sucks.
No.
Ganny sucks.
I
Yeah,
suck.
he sucks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.